All right, fifth graders, we are back for part 2 on 64 and 65. This is the part, alto saxophones, where it's not going to make much sense because of the way they wrote the book, so just bear with us. If you look at 64, there's music in the air. And then you look at 65, there's the same music in the air. If we were in class, I would ask you, are these songs the same? And I think some of you would say yes. And some of you would say, nope, they're not. Now I want you to take a second and look at the song again. Don't just look at the notes. Look at what's happening in the beginning of the song, because that might help explain my answer. So if you look at the song, 64 and 65, are they the same? The answer is yes. This is the same song written 2 different ways. If you look at 64, in the beginning, the very beginning, you're going to go to your clef sign. You're going to go to your time signature. And you're going to notice the space in between. This is called a key signature. For flutes, for everybody, you're going to notice that you have nothing in that space. It is blank. And then when you look at the song, you're going to notice that they've actually gone in and drawn flat signs in front of the new notes. So let me explain that again. On 64, the very beginning of the song, there's a time signature, there's a clef sign, and in between there's this space, which is going to be your key signature, and it is blank. And in the song, they've gone in and drawn flat signs in front of the notes that need to be flat. On 65, you will notice there are no flat signs drawn in front of any of the notes. Instead, those flat signs are put in between the clef sign and the time signature. So for clarinets and trumpets, on 64, they put a flat sign in front of the B flat. That means play B flat. On 65, they put one flat sign in the space between the clef sign and the time signature. That means play the B flat throughout the song. So if you look on measure 2, there's no flat sign in front of your B, but it's going to be a B flat because of the flat sign in the key signature. Flutes and trombones, you have 2 flat signs on 64. You have 2 flat signs normally in your music. That means B flat and E flat. On 64, there are no flat signs because they've drawn the flat signs in. But on 65, you have your B flat, your E flat, and they've added a third one, which is going to apply to your new note, which means you're also going to play an A flat. And if you look at all of the music on 65, you're going to notice there are no flat signs written in because they're all in the key signature. So you're still playing your B flats, your E flats, and your A flats. They're just not written in front of the notes because they're written in the key signature. I know this is tricky. I don't know if you can hear. My children are downstairs screaming, so it's kind of a distraction. I hope you're able to follow me. On 64, there is nothing in the key signature. It is blank. And the flat signs are written in the music. On 65, there are no flat signs written in the music. They're all put in the key signature. But essentially, the songs are the same thing. Altos, your new note is F natural, and it doesn't work with the F for this. So later on in life, we're going to see things where you have a sharp sign, altos, which you're used to, being written in your key signature. And it tells you when to play F sharp, or you have no sharp sign, which is how 64 and 65 are, which means you play F natural. For you, these songs don't look any different, so that's a little bit confusing, okay? And then for percussion, for snare drum, there's just a couple of different symbols. You have this repeat sign, which we have talked about, which means repeat the previous measure, okay? So that just is a different way to write this. They want you to play this previous measure. You've seen that before in your music. Okay, that's it. Good luck.